Senator Cory Booker hasn't qualified yet for December's presidential debate, but he's already looking to capitalize on his gains from the debate in Atlanta just a few days ago. Booker's campaign says that it raised $650,000 since that debate. Several Democratic candidates stayed behind in the South, attending events to speak with African-American voters, including Booker. And after the debate on Wednesday, he explained the importance of the black vote in the 2020 election to our Ed O'Keefe.
We won the last two presidential elections the Democratic Party won by having record turnouts in the African-American community. Record turnouts. The difference between winning in 2012 and losing in 2016, if you just look at the African-American community, if we had gotten the same turnout in 2016 that we got in 2012, it would be President Hillary Clinton right now.
Sabrina Singh joins me now from Washington. She's the National Press Secretary for Senator Booker's 2020 presidential campaign. Thanks for joining us, Sabrina.
Thank you so much for having me on this morning.
So let us springboard off of that bite that we heard from Cory Booker about the African-American vote. We know African-American women are at the core of the Democratic base. When I think about when Barack Obama was elected and how active my mother-in-law and aunts were and godmothers, I mean, they were wearing Barack shirts every single day. They were really into it. So why is Senator Booker the best candidate for Black Democratic voters and for Black women?
Well, like you said, we know that African-American women are the core of the Democratic Party. I mean, they delivered results for us in 2018 that flipped the House back to Democratic control, electing governors and senators up and down the ballot. So we know that the core of our party are these voters. And the only person in this race that we believe can build a multiracial coalition and actually win in the general election is Cory Booker. And this is someone that has a proven record of getting things done. He has reached out across the aisle to Republicans, Democrats, independents as mayor of Newark and has gotten things done in the Senate as senator of New Jersey. I mean, criminal justice reform has gotten passed, or some parts of it, by this administration thanks to the leadership of Cory Booker and him reaching across the aisle to people like Lindsey Graham and Chuck Grassley, who he has, really nothing in common with. But going back to your original question, the top of the top tier that we're focusing on right now, we're seeing that the African-American voters there's still a lot of undecideds within the community. And so we believe that Cory has a real path to victory through those voters and can really unite voters, African-American voters, Latino voters, API voters, to coalesce into a win and become the nominee.
So it's clear that he's been able to capitalize on his last appearance on the last debate, raising in just a few days over $600,000. So that's good when it comes to the December debate, but he still has to meet the voting threshold. Will he be able to get the polling threshold? Will he be able to get the number that he needs?
We are confident that we will make the December debate. We have seen an incredible outpouring of support. As you just mentioned, we've raised over $600,000 since the closing statement on the November debate stage on Wednesday. And the money continues to come in. And we know that with that money, we'll be able to go up and spend on digital ads and make sure that people know that when they are getting a phone call in their states, whether it's New Hampshire, South Carolina, Nevada, and Iowa, we want people to pick up their phones and be inspired by Cory's debate performance that we saw on Wednesday night. So we feel really confident that we will be on that December debate stage in Los Angeles.
Okay, so before I let you go, I got to ask you about one of the issues that our reporters say people talk to them over and over and over again, and it's healthcare. It's one of the top issues, if not the top issue, that voters want to know about. Your candidate has supported Medicare for all. How does he really differ from some of the other candidates on this that he shares this competition with?
I think the one great thing about having such a robust primary is that we are seeing so many candidates on that stage that believe that healthcare is a right for all, not a privilege for a few. So in terms of differing, Cory believes that Medicare for all is the ultimate goal. He signed on to the Medicare for all bill in the Senate. But the way to get there, this is going to be a long path. And so we cannot let perfection be the enemy of the good here. He's going to take every action that he can to, as an executive in the White House, to roll roll back some of the cuts and damages that the Trump administration has done to the Affordable Care Act. But, we know that it's going to take time. And so we are also going to have to make sure that we're lowering prescription drug costs, that we are focused on making sure that women have access to, affordable birth control and, have access to, protecting Planned Parenthoods in states that are, stripping funding from them. But Medicare for All is the ultimate goal. I think the way candidates are differentiating themselves on the stage is how we get there. And Cory wants to make sure that this is a robust process, but that people are not losing their health care in the process of getting to Medicare for All.
Okay, so the big question is, though, how do you pay for that?
So there are so many ways that you can actually pay for it. I think one would be rolling back the horrific Trump tax cuts that we have seen. And, there's other ways. I mean, there's the closing, different tax loopholes. I think that we know this is going to be, of course, an expensive process, but Cory's ultimate goal is to make sure that taxes do not go up on middle-class families. And that is the most important thing that he's been talking about, not only on the campaign trail, but on the debate stage.
All right, Sabrina Singh, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.